Okay, I'd like to acknowledge all the University of Calgary graduates today. And it's our way as Indigenous people, Blackfoot people, to start with a smudge. So I'm going to light my smudge to acknowledge all the gifts from Creator today uh, and all the graduates that are graduating today. It's our way to light our smudge and acknowledge everybody with sanctified kindness. Ay istipetapia, ay onapi na tusi. O kitens katsimadan krishkanotani. Au krishchikuik. Ay spumu kinanap sitoke gagoxiskatumuayam stichi. Aga krishkinimat chawanik nat. Hanik kamutanik natua. Ay spumu sa istipetapia panka kumadapi. Puya wanika aga krishkinimat. Ayan ang kitaya kita pu takspia. Padayagan stipata pi piais pomu sa stipata pi agok siskatumoya kamutan aksipata pi sinan. I just like to congratulate all the graduates today. I know this going through school, going through university has been a hard challenge, and today we're moving ahead. You're finished that learning, you're finished that commitment, a commitment of time and your efforts. Now you're done. Now we can go and do our whatever journey you're going on. You're ready to start. I just want to say to our Indigenous grads, our grandparents would say our children are going to school. They're going to that's the university. And one day they'll come home and will live a good life. Today, as you graduate, I see that those words coming true that the elders talk about. Congratulations to all of you from Rose and I, and I just like to thank you for the opportunity to say your opening prayer. Thank you.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. Carlton brasse porter le pale, il s'est porté la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on
Good afternoon and welcome. I'm Deborah Yedlin, Chancellor of the University of Calgary, and I declare this convocation officially convened. Before we begin, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional territories of the people of the Treaty 7 region in southern Alberta, which includes the Blackfoot Confederacy comprising the Siksika, Piikani, and Kainai First Nations, as well as the Tsuut'ina First Nation and the Stoney Nakoda, including the Chiniki, Bearspaw, and Wesley First Nations. The City of Calgary is also home to Métis Nation of Alberta Region 3. I would also like to note that the City of Calgary is situated on land adjacent to where the Bow River meets the Elbow River, and that the traditional Blackfoot name of this place is Mohkinstsis, which we now call the City of Calgary. I'm so proud to be here celebrating our graduating class of 2021, and I do wish we were all gathered in person. I love being part of UCalgary's convocation, a moment so steeped in tradition and formality, and yet filled with such unbridled energy. Energy created over years of dedicated study and then unleashed into a world of possibilities, a world of uncertainty. You could say, for the class of 2021, the pandemic has made your energy unique. You have not been able to follow the usual academic path leading to convocation today. The molecular structure has been altered. In the last year and a half, conventional thinking has been challenged, and you have changed, adapted to online learning, found new ways to collaborate and communicate, and become more resilient. You have acquired skills you probably don't recognize that you've got, but you will. Like other unexpected and catastrophic events throughout world history, the pandemic has accelerated the pursuit of progress and forever changed our society. In 1914, airplanes were rare and delicate, but when World War I broke out, scientists and engineers collaborated on technology to make them stronger and faster, much more like the commercial planes we fly today. The horrible injuries inflicted on World War I and World War II soldiers drove medical innovation forward. Blood donation and storage were invented. New surgeries were developed to treat physical trauma. The commercial production of penicillin was prompted. For all its costs, and those costs must not be understated, widespread calamity is also a catalyst for advancement. In just over a year, we have left 10 years ahead in terms of how we learn and work. Before the pandemic, people were only talking about the technological adaptations that we've now made, and in some cases overnight, changes to keep each other safe, stay connected, continue learning, and to keep contributing. A year ago, we had no idea if a COVID-19 vaccine was even possible. In an unprecedented period of collaboration, scientists set their personal ambitions aside for the betterment of humanity and led us here to the brink of a conclusion for this period in history. Millions are being vaccinated around the world. But a conclusion does not mean a return to the beginning of the story, a return to normal, because normal didn't serve everyone, did it? Now we see more clearly some of the barriers people face: people of color, low-income populations, people with diverse physical or mental health needs. Normal wasn't working. Soon, this massive disruption will be behind us, but we have been changed. We have learned how to share more, use less, slow down, and be kinder. Our world is rebooting, and right now we have a head start toward a better future. The catch is where we end up 50 years from now is up to you and the positive disruptions that you lead. As John F. Kennedy said, we choose to do things not because they're easy, but because they're hard. The challenge of addressing climate change is your generation's moonshot, full of promise, potential, and impact. But it won't be easy. As Mark Carney has recently said, transitioning easy energy systems will be hard. Improving cities so that they are more inclusive is going to be hard. Transforming education to blend synchronous and asynchronous learning is going to be hard. There are so many things that are works in progress, but we should never run away from something that is challenging or disruptive. Graduates, I said your energy is unbridled, and I meant it. You are not constrained by the letters in your degree. You have a toolkit full of skills we need to make our communities better. I graduated with an English degree, and my career has taken me from Wall Street to the newsroom and some incredible places in between. Like all of you, my university education taught me to analyze, synthesize, and communicate. And those abilities turned my BA into Be Anything. The world of tomorrow is about adaptability and pushing the limits of what's possible in yourself and in the people and systems around you. Your potential is immense, and with a commitment to understanding, it will only grow. You will never understand everything, but you can work to understand a lot. In earning your degree, you have become an expert in something. Share your expertise, but stay open to collaborations and partnerships that will broaden your point of view and increase your power and potential to make change. The author, disability rights advocate, and political activist Helen Keller once said, "Alone we can do so little. Together we can do so much." Graduates, find and keep people in your life who inspire you to be bold and take action for what you believe in. You may already have found some of those individuals during your time at UCalgary. You are a special class of graduates, embarking on your next chapter at the same time the whole world is turning the page on the pandemic. So many opportunities await you, and I know you will make the most of all of them. Congratulations to the class of 2021. I now invite President and Vice Chancellor Ed Macaulay to come forward to address the convocation.
Thank you for that wonderful address, Chancellor Yedlin. And to all of the graduates joining us online from here in Calgary, across the province, in Qatar, and beyond, welcome. It is an honor to celebrate with you today, and we are so incredibly proud of what you have accomplished. Congratulations to all of you. Chancellor Yedlin spoke of how you are embarking on the next chapter, of how you are continuing your story during a time like any other in our world history. This is a narrative of leadership, compassion, excellence, and courage. And it's a story that you've established right here at the University of Calgary. During your time with us, we've seen you champion the values of inclusion and respect. An excellent example is Savannah Poirier-Hollander. Savannah graduates with a Bachelor of Education and a clear commitment to fostering relationships based in trust, respect, and reciprocity. During her studies at the Workland School of Education, Savannah received an award through the Program for Undergraduate Research Experience. She used this opportunity to benefit communities, creating a virtual medicine plant guide for students, connecting with Indigenous elders, and deepening her understanding of the reciprocal relationship between nature, people, and with the land. These experiences were especially valued by Savannah as a Cree Métis woman. Going forward, she aims to continue building strong relationships that ensure no student feels left out or left behind. Congratulations, Savannah. Graduands, we also have seen you seek out new knowledge and forge meaningful connections. Ji-Xin Liu, or Jessica, is one such leader. She graduates with a BA Honors in Economics and a BSc in Computer Science. Jessica has connected with knowledge across disciplines, earning multiple awards for academic excellence and contributing to research for organizations such as the Alberta Energy Regulator and the National Autonomous University of Mexico in Mexico City. She's channeled these strengths to help others, finding ways to connect authentically through a love of learning and exploration. Jessica has served in leadership roles for the Society of Undergraduates in Economics and a volunteer organization to support Syrian refugee families called Pangea, Connecting Humanity. In the process, she's created a positive impact on her colleagues, fellow students, children in refugee families, and so many others. Congratulations, Jessica. When faced with critical issues in our society, graduands, you've contributed innovative scholarship to tackle these challenges. Christy Miles is another example of this impact and thought leadership. Christy graduates with an MA in Geography and a keen interest in enhancing our understanding of novel science and technologies. As part of her research thesis funded by Genome Canada, Christy examined the process of genomic selection to improve tree breeding. She applied transdisciplinary scholarship to explore how social ideas can influence the development and use of this technology. In another project, funded by the Natural Sciences and Engineering Research Council, Christy was the first social science student to contribute to a program on gene editing for food security and environmental sustainability. And she's committed and continued this leadership in her current work with Editing Nature, an organization that engages communities on the responsible use of genomics technologies. Congratulations, Christy. Graduands, we have also seen you develop unique solutions and enterprises to meet unaddressed needs in our community. And a fantastic example is Monica Opal. Monica graduates with a Bachelor of Commerce in Organizational Behavior and Human Resources. She's won multiple honors for her achievements as a leader in HR and sustainability. In 2016, Monica founded a student club called Suit Up to address the need for affordable professional attire. The club provides professional clothes to students at a discounted price and then uses the proceeds to give back to community programs. Monica has collected hundreds of pounds of clothing, raised large donations from the proceeds, and earned a prestigious 2020 Sustainability Award for her efforts. She continues to make a difference through her work with a global social enterprise called Innovative Canadians for Change. Congratulations, Monica. These stories are joined by countless others, from the nursing students who served at the front lines in Qatar, in Calgary, and in rural communities, to the many other leaders, volunteers, mentors, and contributors from every faculty, lending their skills to help others and make a difference. Graduands, you have created an incredible legacy at the University of Calgary, and I know that your impact will only continue to grow in the years ahead. You are now part of an alumni family more than 190,000 strong, a network of fellow leaders who share your same commitment to transforming our world for the better. And we cannot wait to see what you will achieve next, and we wish you every success. And as we celebrate this milestone with you today, we have a very special tribute that we'd like to share. We know, unfortunately, that it's been a while since some of you have been here on campus. You may feel that you have some unfinished business here. And thankfully, Rex was eager to help fulfill the wishes of some students who shared what they would do with a normal day on campus. Let's see how Rex did in this video for the class of 2021.
If I could spend one more time on campus before graduating, I would have loved to go to Den and have one of their nachos after my classes.
One thing that I would do is go to the first Thursday of the year.
If I had one more day on campus, I would go spin the zipper in Science Theaters for good luck.
If I had one more day on campus, I would want to be in the Jack Simpson gym, serving a volleyball and playing the sport that I love.
I would hang out in the Kinesiology Student Society office with my friends.
I would go back to Eel, find my favorite fume hood, and get down with some chemistry one more time.
If I had one more day on campus, I would go get an iced coffee and a muffin from Brew and Blends.
Brew and Blends.
Brew and Blends. Brew and Blends.
If I had one more day left on campus, you could probably find me hanging out at the squat rack at the UC gym.
I would probably try to go and have one big final track meet with my track team or some sort of fun competition.
If I could spend one more day on campus, I would have actually purchased that hoodie I spent so many days looking at.
I would love to be able to sit in on a final lecture
and sit right in the middle of the lecture hall and be able to have everybody file in around me as class begins.
So if I had one last day on campus, I think the first thing I would do would be to go to Bake Chef and get a spicy beef sub without cilantro.
I'd probably go to Korean Barbecue House.
I would like to go to Mac Hall to get fuel for gold for breakfast one last time.
If I could have one more day on campus, I would like to spend an afternoon at the Writing Symbols Lodge in the peace and tranquility of the student lounge area.
The library, TFPL, and then head over to the first floor and start studying. I really miss that.
I would love to sit in the atrium.
Atrium.
I would definitely try and take a nap at one of the big study tables in the basement of the law library.
So I like to hang out with my friends, go to Starbucks, get a cup of coffee.
You could have one last experience on campus. It'd definitely be that sense of relief you feel after final exams and that sheer excitement of not knowing what's coming next, but just being ready for it. That's one experience I'd love to have again.
If I could have one last experience on campus, it would be walking the stage with my classmates.
I wish I could cross the stage and get my degree.
Walk across the stage with my fellow classmates.
I wish I could walk across the stage in my moccasins to collect my parchment paper.
Convocating with my friends and crossing the stage at graduation.
Walk the stage.
To get my degree.
To walk across the stage.
It was my dream to walk down the stage for a convocation ceremony, and I wish I could do that.
Thank you, Rex, and congratulations again to our class of 2021. It's now my pleasure to introduce two of the highest honors that we bestow at our university. The Order of the University of Calgary, which honors those within our community who have brought great esteem to the university, and the degree Doctor of Laws honoris causa, which is bestowed upon individuals who made notable achievements and community service who merit recognition. Earlier this week, Chancellor Yellen and I were delighted to bestow these honors and share the stories of such remarkable leaders in our community. The university draws its strength from its community, its students, its faculty, its staff, and its alumni. We honor those who contribute to the success of this community with the Order of the University of Calgary. Robert, or Bob Maber, is a deserving recipient of the order. Bob's 14 years of service to our university have been marked by resilience and excellence in the face of crisis. As a director of emergency management, he has consistently been a positive advocate for the university while also building relationships in the wider community. Bob has led our university's emergency response through several major incidents. Beginning in 2013, when Calgary experienced the 1-in-100-year flood. He was instrumental in leading our crisis management response, including shutting down the entire campus, mobilizing over 1,000 volunteers, and taking in 1,800 evacuees from Calgary and High River, among many, many other tasks. In 2016, Bob once again managed a large-scale emergency situation as the municipality of Wood Buffalo was evacuated during the wildfires. On very short notice, Bob organized housing for over 1,400 people who were displaced by the fires. Then, there's been the crisis of the past 15 months, as we've faced the myriad of challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic. In a climate of incredible uncertainty, Bob assembled a COVID-19 task force of experts and worked tirelessly to keep people safe. His influence has spanned all aspects of our COVID-19 response, from creating the campus safety guide to bringing students and faculty home from abroad to supporting procedures to help sick staff and students. In channeling this expertise and sharing data, Bob also served as a valuable partner to the Calgary Emergency Management Agency and the O'Brien Institute for Public Health. He has guided our community through a difficult period with a focus on evidence-based decision-making and keeping people informed. Through his extraordinary commitment, leadership, adaptability, and critical thinking, Bob has been an invaluable member of our team. Eminent Chancellor, I present to you Robert Maber, a true citizen of the University of Calgary. And I invite you to admit him as a member of the Order of the University of Calgary in recognition of his exemplary and distinguished service to our university.
It is my great pleasure to now admit you, Robert Maber, as a member of the Order of the University of Calgary. Congratulations.
I am delighted to highlight another member of our community who has brought great honor to the university. Saifa Kunar is a deserving recipient of the Order of the University of Calgary. Saifa is the president and CEO of the Alberta Children's Hospital Foundation, elevating this foundation to a position of influence across Canada and North America. She played a key role on the team that spearheaded the construction of the new Alberta Children's Hospital, the first freestanding pediatric facility to be built in Canada in 20 years. Saifa also helped inspire our community to invest in the creation of Rotary Flames House, Alberta's first pediatric hospice, and in the Centre for Child and Adolescent Mental Health, which is set to open next year and is the first center of its kind in Calgary. Saifa is dedicated to making sure that families have the best in care for their physical and mental health. To this end, she has shown tremendous commitment to advancing innovation and research. Through partnerships with Alberta Health Services and the University of Calgary, Saifa has been part of establishing the Alberta Children's Hospital Research Institute, the Centre for Health Genomics and Informatics, the new Cancer Research Lab, the Integrated Concussion Research Program, the O'Werco Center, and the Vi Riddell Children's Pain and Rehabilitation Center. These strong partnerships have benefited children and families through world-class research in areas such as genomics, cancer, and brain health. Thanks to the generosity of our community, the Alberta Children's Hospital Foundation has committed more than $188 million to child health research in the past 10 years alone. Saifa also brings a lot of pride to our campus family as a double alumna. She holds both a Bachelor of Commerce and a Master of Business Administration from the University of Calgary. Drawing on her exemplary leadership skills and business acumen, Saifa has fostered opportunities and built lasting community connections, ensuring brighter futures for all. Her dedication has helped improve the health outcomes for thousands of sick and injured children and their families. As a distinguished alumna and respectful leader, Saifa has embodied the vision of our university, changing lives through the better through great ideas and strong collaborations. Eminent Chancellor, I present to you Saifa Kunar, a true citizen of the University of Calgary. I invite you to admit her as a member of the Order of the University of Calgary in recognition of her exemplary and distinguished service to our university.
It is my great pleasure to admit you, Saifa Kunar, as a member of the Order of the University of Calgary. Congratulations.
Today, it's also my privilege, Eminent Chancellor, to present to you Marnie McBean, a 3-time Olympic gold medalist and member of the Canadian rowing team. Marnie has represented our country with distinction. She's one of just 2 Canadians to win 3 Olympic gold medals at the Summer Games. The other is her longtime rowing partner, Kathleen Bignell. During her rowing career, Marnie has won a total of 12 world and Olympic medals, showing a remarkable talent a fierce commitment to excellence, and the ability to work as a team towards a common goal. Following her spectacular rowing career, Marnie served as a mentor to several Canadian Olympic teams, preparing athletes for the rigorous physical and emotional demand of elite athletic performance. As the chef de mission for Calgary's team at the 2020 Olympics in Tokyo, Marnie has also been a champion of diversity. She has advocated for open dialogue and safe spaces where athletes can feel comfortable to express their full selves. As an ambassador for Team Canada and a mentor to young athletes, Marnie has had a profound impact on the culture of Olympic sports. She's a member of the Canadian Olympic Hall of Fame and Canada Sports Hall of Fame. Marnie has received the Governor-General's Meritorious Service Medal and the Queen's Diamond Jubilee Medal. She has also been appointed as an officer of the Order of Canada. And in recognition of her incredible international career, Marnie has earned the Thomas Keller Medal from World Rowing. Through her commitment to supporting the success of young athletes and her championship of diversity, inclusion, and human rights, Marnie is an incredible role model. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of our Senate and University, I invite you to invest Marnie McBean with the degree Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
I admit Marnie McBean to the degree Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, and grant her all the rights and privileges, powers and responsibilities pertaining to this degree. Congratulations. I'm now happy to present to you a video address from Marnie McBean.
Thank you so much for this honor, Chancellor Yedlin, President Macaulay. Congratulations to the class of 2021. Wow, what a year it's been. We've talked so much about resiliency. I don't want to go there. I want to talk about the creativity that we've had to really tap into for the last year. And it's been what's gotten us through this thing. And what you should be most proud of is that you didn't wait. You didn't wait for us to be through the pandemic, for the lights to come on, for us to have the freedoms of moving around. You figured it out. And this is the life lesson that you'll be able to take forward through your whole life. We apply it in sport. Someone is always going to win in terrible conditions. And you have succeeded in this really extraordinary year. As you go through this year, remember all that you've done. As ambitious people, you have always had an incredible to-do list, right? That's what we do. We have a to-do list, and we're like doing them all the time. We're always focused on our to-do list. In this year of creativity, we've had to be very aware of our done list. And what's that? Well, we've always had those things in our to-do list. When we check them off, we check, what have you done with all of those things you've accomplished? Always, all the programs you've taken, all the high school, all the extracurriculars, all the social opportunities, all these different things you've done, and you've checked them off on your to-do list. Well, those checks are still yours. They're your tools, and they've been in your done pile, in your done list. Never let go of that. Always have this awareness of your done list, and create things that you can always do, and that's what you've done through this year. You've done a lot, and make sure you take that always forward with you as your life tools. Never let go of all the creative things that you've done this year to figure it out, and throughout your entire career here in University of Calgary. As you've gone through this year, we've all had to start and listen to hard conversations, right? Sometimes the hardest part about a conversation is starting it, but once you're in it, you're in the process of getting things better, of getting things done. Listen to critical feedback. Never let go of that. As students, we crave critical feedback, right? But then as you move on, we kind of get this sense that as we accumulate success and experience, we're not supposed to get that anymore. Stay curious. Be curious to try. Be curious to make some mistakes. Be curious, but by starting and listening to hard conversations, that's how you've figured out you've been resilient, but that's how you figured out what you need to do to be creative and to move forward. And most importantly through this year, You haven't waited to understand that you are the somebody that you're waiting for. I used to talk to athletes. Well, I still talk to athletes. And I remember once I was trying to come up with a message. What should I say? What should I say to this group of motivated athletes who are just trying to get hard things done? And I had a bit of writer's block, and I was doing my laundry, and I picked up, I did the laundry in the basement, and I picked it up, and I carried it to somewhere else, and I put it down, and I dropped a sock. And I looked down at the sock, and I thought, oh, somebody will get that. And I went and I made myself a coffee, and I walked past the sock, and there's the sock. And you know what? Somebody will pick that sock up. I walked past that sock for almost 2.5 days, expecting somebody to pick it up. And then I realized I'm the only person who lives in this house. I was living alone at the time. I was missing that opportunity because I was the somebody I was waiting for. As you go forward, and you've done this over the last year, you've known you've been the somebody. But take this degree that you have, this degree that you've earned. Nobody's given you anything. And you have known you are the somebody who's going to get it for you. You are the somebody you need to rely on. You are the somebody who can be a good teammate. You are the somebody who can be a good classmate. You are the somebody who can be a leader. You're the somebody who can have success and happiness. Pick up the socks around you. Pick up the opportunities that are around you. You are the one who's going to push you onto the podium. Congratulations, and again, thank you for this honor. I'm very grateful, and have a wonderful opening up of the pandemic, and I look forward to hearing about all of your celebrations.
Congratulations, Marnie. Several weeks ago, President Macaulay and I were privileged to visit Ken Stevenson at his home to grant his honorary degree in person. We'd like to share a short video of that occasion with you now.
The University of Calgary awards honorary doctorates. This is our university's highest academic honor. An honorary doctorate is bestowed upon individuals whose notable achievements and community service merit recognition. Eminent Chancellor, I present to you Mr. Kenneth Stevenson, a serial entrepreneur, businessman, and philanthropist. Mr. Stevenson has helped revolutionize diagnostic cardiovascular medicine. His vision to support the creation of the Stevenson Cardiovascular MR Center at the University of Calgary's Cummings School of Medicine has transformed the approach to cardiovascular diagnosis and care, making the University of Calgary a world leader in this field. In addition to his support for the MR Center, he also backed the development of cardiac diagnostic software through his founding role with Circle Diagnostics, a Calgary healthcare IT company. This software is used in 1,500 hospitals in 40 countries and benefits more than 7 million people every year. His efforts to establish Circle stand as a testament to the impact that can be created when the private sector works with academia to generate technology that can be used for the health and well-being of the global population. On behalf of the Senate and the university, I invite you to invest Mr. Kenneth Stevenson with the degree Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
I admit you, Mr. Kenneth Stevenson, to the degree Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, and grant you all the rights and privileges, powers, and responsibilities pertaining to this degree. Congratulations. Congratulations to Robert Maber, Saifa Kunar, Ken Stevenson, and Marnie McBean. We're delighted to recognize your impact on our community, and we're deeply proud to count you as part of the University of Calgary family.
Please join me in celebrating our newest members of the Order of the University of Calgary and recipient of the degree Doctor of Laws, honoris causa. It is now my pleasure to introduce our new Provost and Vice President Academic, Teresa Balzer, to address convocation.
This ceremony is first and foremost a celebration of your success, and deservedly so, for you are an impressive group. We would like to call out some of our graduands for special recognition who, as students, excelled in their studies and co-curricular activities to the point where they are singled out as medal winners. The details of the medals we are awarding, along with the names and bios of the medal winners, can be found on the special recognition page of the convocation website and in the digital convocation program. Graduands, please prepare for the conferring of your degrees. Eminent Chancellor and President, on behalf of the faculties of the university, I present the 2021 graduands. I ask that they be pledged and admitted to the University of Calgary degrees that they have earned.
As a graduate of this university, you join a worldwide kinship of educated persons who have earned opportunities and responsibilities of leadership and service in their chosen communities. To recognize this affinity, we invite each graduate to join with the thousands who have gone before in making the University of Calgary Graduates Pledge. The pledge is not an oath, but is a solemn expression of your intention to apply your learning and experience positively for the widest benefit. It's now my pleasure to introduce our distinguished graduate, Dan Allard, who will lead the Graduates Pledge. Dan holds a Bachelor of Commerce from the Haskayne School of Business. After leading a successful career in landscape construction and commercial real estate, Dan co-founded the Golden Garden Beverage Company. In addition to his leadership as an entrepreneur and his service as the chair of the Inglewood Business Improvement Area, Dan is also a talented musician. He's performed at numerous festivals and events, including the Vancouver 2010 Winter Olympic Games. Please join me in welcoming Dan Allard to lead the Graduates Pledge.
Graduands, please follow along and also read aloud. When we finish, you will all say along with me, "This is my pledge." As a graduate of the University of Calgary, wherever my life may take me, I will use my knowledge, experience, and skills to the best of my ability for the well-being of my communities and for the advancement of learning and the public good. I will conduct myself with honesty and integrity, taking responsibility for my actions and respecting the rights, opinions, and dignity of all people. I will maintain my competency and keep abreast of developments in my chosen fields. I will strive to better my communities through good citizenship and active participation. I will be a loyal ambassador for my university and will seek to promote its welfare and maintain its reputation. I will honor all who have shared their knowledge with me and will in my turn share my knowledge and experience with those who enter my field or come under my direction. In all my dealings, I will endeavor to be known as a person of honor and repute, ever seeking to earn the peace of good conscience. This is my pledge.
By the authority of the statutes of Alberta and upon the recommendations of our faculties, I admit you to the University of Calgary degrees you have earned and grant you the rights and privileges, powers and responsibilities pertaining to those degrees. Congratulations, you've done it.
Hello, my name is Robin Yates. I'm the Dean and Vice Provost of Graduate Studies. During their time at the University of Calgary, graduate students not only acquire knowledge through their own learning, they distribute knowledge through teaching activities. They also mobilize and translate knowledge through interactions with the community and with industry. Most notably, many of them create new knowledge through their original research. Now more than ever, we need innovators, entrepreneurs, and leaders in every discipline and in every profession. Graduates, you are poised to make a difference in these uncertain times. Whilst all graduate students are registered with the Faculty of Graduate Studies, their academic homes are in the Faculty of Study. As such, it gives me great pleasure to join my colleagues across the university to honour the recipients of graduate credentials here today. Eminent Chancellor, by the authority of the Council of Graduate Studies, we have the honour to present the class of 2021.
Graduates, honoured guests, family, and friends, my name is Jim DeWald. I'm the Dean of the Haskayne School of Business. What does it mean to have a degree in commerce? This isn't common language. Nobody talks about commerce. When you go to the store and buy a shirt, nobody says, I partook in commerce today. But certainly, each one of you fully understand that to go and pick out a shirt at a store doesn't just mean the convenience and the focus on price and the focus on quality that most consumers have. As a business graduate, you now understand that everything that happens in our world requires diligent care and attention to so many details and so many activities that happen. Whether it's accounting for the dollars, the finance required, the marketing required, operations, supply chain, distribution, logistics, all of these are things that you didn't know a few years ago. And now you have this. You don't even understand how much you've learned and how much it can change your life, but I do. And I'm very proud of what you've accomplished. And I know your parents, your family, your friends are also proud of what you've done with your degree. Congratulations to each one of you. You now step into a world with more knowledge than you can imagine and with truly the power to use your imagination to go to new heights. Eminent Chancellor, by the authority of the Council of the Haskayne School of Business, we have the honor to present the graduates of 2021.
Salman Ali Abbasi, Sarah Aysam Abdelhalim, Omar Nabil Abdelwahab, Bita Abdollahi, Ahmad Naveed Abdul Ahmad, Armanbek Abeldanov, Rabab Abu Ahmad, Erhura Abtin, Jenny Diana Acosta, Olewatubiloba Adelodun, Omojadesola Nimat Ade-Yusuf, Haris Adil, Mohammad Zorez Afzal, Marcus Stelio Agapio, Theri Agnihotri, Shari Agnihotri, Alexandra Malit Aguila, Simran Kaur Alawalia, Meeha Ahmad, Syed Saad Ahmed, Talha Ahmed, Mitchell William George Alexander, Akbar Ali, Anum Ali, Gabriel Ali, Hadi Ali, Mohammad Ahsan Ali, Mariam Alamarati Akbarabadi, Daniel Nathan Allen, Abdulaziz Nizar Al-Naqshbandi, Mohammed Al-Robai, Sarah Al-Shara, Kane Edward Altwasser, Madeline Katerina Alvarez, Malik Amery, Curtis Riley Anderson, Wacy Robert Anderson, Tyr Brazen Anger, Garrett John Anstedt, Ryan Anstedt, Jenny Lynn Marie Antonio, Emily Jana Irenia Aranos, Shelina Arif, Melanie Nicole Ashton, Isa Asif, Andrew Raymond Aspilaga, Aidan Norhan Athwal, Andrew George Ethiel, Mehmet Atici, Larry Shem Atienza, Vinky Dorothy Au, Williams Avila Fuenmayor, Nathaniel Antinu Ayalo, Crystal Hannah Yurtsarita Bagshaw, Shiva Bahayamagadam, Saad Mohammed Beg, Adil Rizwan Bajwa, Vinod Balakrishnan, Sean Patrick Ballard, Mohammed Fahed Forkan Benji, Jeevan Bath, Mark Julius Hermoso Bautista, Michael Samuel Bean, Molly Victoria Beckham, Galen George Beerbaum, Mackenzie Jillian Beerbaum, Julian Bernardo Bejarano Diaz, Justin Gray Belcher, Matheus Belchior, Amy Marie Bellavia, Layden Ronald James Besler, Melissa Bakri, Gulpreet Singh Bangu, Aviral Bhardwaj, Raghav Bhopla, Makaya Andrea Bianchi Parker, Monique A. M. Big Snake, Katelyn Bignell, Tyson James Bilton, Nicole Noreen Advincula Bizaris, Sahib Singh Bisla, Evan Lewis Blakely, Amie Blanchette, Matthew Douglas Bloomer, Adam Alexander Bodell, Matthew Anthony Bame, Brett Stephen Bolin, Benjamin Joseph Bonin, Aaron Joel Borchert, Amir Bouaziz, Tareliefa Bozimo, Matthew Leo Brad, Marissa Ashley Braden, Thomas Leonard Bradford, Ryan Bradley, Shane William Anderson Bradley, Eden Michelle Briones, Aleida Broenink, Weston Bronconnier, Elizabeth Brocco, Marion Elizabeth Marguerite Brown, Megan Christine Brown, Julian Alexander Bruni, Graham Howard Brunning, Stephen Boy, Augustus Alec K. Sires Bundalian, David Berdziak, Brandon Roderick Burnett, Lane Nevin Burton, Georgie Buzov, Brandon Grant Bison, Varushka Kiocho Cabradilla, Megan Marilyn Kane, Kathleen Robin Campbell, Kiana Shea Campbell, Stephen Craig Campbell, Stephen James Cardon, Alexandra Melody Carlisle, Andrea Cedarstrand, Liam Alexander Chambers, Sindora C. Yu Chan, Marco Chan, Melissa Tuan Chan, Sean Stephen Chan, Zachary Chan, Adam Karanek, Terrence Thomas Chow, Mohammed Chowdhury, Sanya Kamal Chowdhury, Mariana Teresa Chavez Mendoza, Hashim Ali Chima, Prabjot Singh Chima, Angela Tracy Chen, Junhao Chen, Lucy Xiao Jan Chen, Nuo Chen, Siuan Chen, Xin Ying Chen, Zhang Wei Chen, Cliff Tak Hong Chang, Christy Wing Si Chung, Hoi Ching Chung, Michelle Chi Ching Chung, Stephen Hung Win Chiang, Tabo Bradley Chinake, Jackie Chi Chi Chu, Jiho Choi, Ashley Chu, Christopher Brian Cho, Sarah Elaine Chow, Chun Hin Choi, Onjinakom Chindinma Chris Okoko, Hui Yuan Chu, Jessica Yin Chu, Chukufomnaya Chukujindu, Alexandra Sibreva, Ryan Halliburton Clark, Karsten Hugo Coley, Jennifer Lynn Collis, Allison Jillian Connell, Zachary Mark Connors, Carson Earl Conroy, Andrew Conway, Joshua Ryan Cook, Matthew John Cool, Devin Cornelis, Camille Chrysostomo, Colton Joseph Cacao, Kyle Alexander Cummins, Danielle May Curry, Barbara Ann Cutter, Tom T. Nok Dang, Hafiz Didar Datu, Autumn Jacqueline Davidson, Derek Russell Dawkins, Christopher Ed Angelo De La Paz, Tyler Michael Desormo, Tricia Mendoza Devotion, Jason Singh Dalilwal, Manpreet Kaur Dalilwal, Afshana Danji, Damandeep Singh Dillon, Justin Singh Dinsa, Simranjit Singh Duga, Keen Kwak Diep, Ishin Ding, Yusong Ding, Francis Julian Dobre, Jordan Peter Dolan, Luca Coelho Domingos, Nicholas Joseph Doskach, James Spencer Douglas, Spencer Cole Dow, Kale Michael Downey, Chanel Colleen D'Souza, Laurie Susan Dubé, Marie-Jean Dubé, Michelle Dubé, Caitlin Mary Ducasse, Mark William Dumaine, Nicole Maria Duran, Ishwar Dutt, Evan Scott Dutton, Tyler Matthew Dyke, Benjamin Robert Edwards, Tanner Einsporn, Charity Leanne Elder, Ahmed Aldel Al-Ghazuli, Sarah Marie Elliott, Celine Marie Enage, Ali Rashad Inayat, Matthew Ensign, Dallas Dwayne Eng, Joel Disraeli English, Luke Alexander Evans, Sydney Hannah Eyre, Haley May Fairbanks, Morgan Victoria Kathleen Falk, David Eugene Falkenberg, Chin Fang, Firaz Farhan, Marcelo Faria Reno, Samantha Fast, Xavier Edward Felix, Jennifer Fernandez, Colin Murray Fetaz, Valeria Fimbres Davila, Stephen Mitchell Finot, Alyssa Mia Fishbein, David Joseph Fisher, Callum James Fitzpatrick, Jennifer Nicole Flater, Jeffrey William Fleming, Ethan Donald Forrest, Ryle Andreas Frena, Nathan Frenette, Julia Elizabeth Friesen, Tyler James Friesen, Cody Jens Henry Fullerton, Caitlin Rella Fulowski, Keaton Linton Getz, Aaliyah Jade Gardner, Sahil Arun Gore, Nicole Lee Gergely, Adrian Gira, Peter Zhang, Taylor Hannah Gibb, Stefan Jigovich, Eric James Gilholm, Gurkirith Kaur Gill, Jasdeep Singh Gill, Jagjit Singh Gill, Melanie Elaine Gillum, Vincent Nelson Giramonti, Anna Maria Jeshti, Nicholas Jugavaz, Anna Ionela Glavin, Niall James Gleason, Brock Thomas Godfrey, Stephen William Godziak, Chelsea Eva Godhart, Gina Chian Yan Gong, Alexander Gonzalez, Brett William Goods, Ryan Jacob Gao, Alexandra Elise Deborah Grab, Kian Joseph Grant, Matthew Greenfield, Alexander Grimmard, Kevin John Gross, Cullen Xiao Yang Guan, Karina Gail Guerra, Jonathan Gregory Gittinger, Sakshi Gupta, Connor Hadath, Saifa Ahmed Hadi, Shumela Halani, Craig Joseph Hall, Kyle Jordan Hall, David Alexander Nicholas Halliday, Matthew Pierce Hallen, Ki Ho Han, Lingji Han, Stephanie Page Hancock, Peter Hanna, Amy Lynn Hansen, Sarah Elizabeth Haraberta, Aishwarya Harish, Rachel Dawn Harper, Lucas Marshall Harrison, Luke Robert Harrison, Virginia Lane Harvey, Liam Don Haubrick, Matthew Kenneth Haukus, Kelsey Taylor Hawkins, Linda Gail Estacio Haya, Ahmed Hamor, Xiaofeng He, Kristen Heaps, Grace Alexandra Hedberg, Holly Amber Henkelman, Zachary Michael Hertz, Shay Douglas Hexamer, Haley Samantha Hicks, Kylie Athena Higgs, Robert Graham Hill, Arepo Ramos Hineke, Angela Wing Ying Ho, Jason Sin Kwang Ho, Ryan Ho, Tung Wang, Joshua Rick Hodenot, Kyle Michael Hoshin, Haley Rose Hoggard, Josue Ezeal Hoyle Basto, Brendan Chase Holden, Emma Jane Hopkins, Daniel Avinash Hazani, Claire Emily Hosford, Kaylee Ann Hood, Joshua Ernest James Howes, Russell Peter Hoy, Natasha Huckabee, Melissa Elizabeth Hughes, Rachel Lindsay Hughes, Jansher Hundal, Grady Hunt, Mavra Hussein, Andrew Albert Wynn, Alisa Alexandrivna Ilichova, Stephen Christian Ivan, Ty Donald Irwin, Rianne Isip, Tassin Islam, Somaya Ismail, Flamena Ivanova, Byron Howard Jackson, Rebecca Pauline James, Olivia Lee Jameson, Jenna Janevska, Jassy Jaswal, Sumaya Jeha, Catherine Krista Jensen, Hong Kai-young Jung, Harman Jutty, Inlin G, Johnny G, Linlin Jiang, Min Jiang, Yoshi Jiang, Darylyn Elizabeth June Jimmo, Orlando Joffrey Camacho, Ashton Lee Johnson, Jordan Jonathan, Edward Vernon Jones, Liam Bryce Jones, Alexandra Rose Johnson, Chris Simon Joubert, Jae-sung Jung, Sung Won Jung, Tyson John Kao, Joshua Yitzhak Khan, Navdeep Kaler, Michael Morrison Kalish, John Philip Kalmbach, Darya Kanevska, Anmoldeep Singh Kang, Alexander Karevanov, Kriti Karval, Olhyas Kelker, Benjamin Eric Kelly, Graham Leslie Kendall, Sandra Jeanette Kent, Jamil Khashoggi, Jennifer Eileen Keterakis, Amber Khan, Amir Khan, Aruba Khan, Sadef Khan, Keith Ravindra Kuzardeno, Serena Yuin Koo, Clayton Ketchuk, Donghee Kim, Han Jun Kim, Hannah Kim, Dustin Maximilian King, Hayden Thomas King, Grace Marie Kittle, Krista Kathleen Kleinsesser, Matthew Joshua Braden Knox, Y. Lon Ko, Burak John Kodaz, Max Aaron Koski, Reese Christopher Cole, Luke Konshu, Ford Lawrence Konchuk, Alexander Michael Krawchuk, Ainsley Danielle Marie Kraker, Nikola Kersmanovich, Danielle Marie Kulkur, Pratishtha Kumar, Saurabh Kumar, Behar Kurtbogan, Seth Owen John Kuz, Long Hei Kansun Kwan, Vanessa Sarah Kwan, Justin Mark Law, Calvin Ku Lack, Devin Andrew Lacey, Stefan Andreas LaForge, Lauren Ashley Lagler, Elias Lang, Rohan Rakesh Lakdawala, Suhas Sudhir Lal, Naomi Hadas Lang, Emily C. Lipinski, Astor Wing Yi Lau, Anik Pascal Lanier, Blake Thomas Lawrence, Billy Lee, Emily Man Pui Lee, Kevin Justin Lee, Si Hyun Lee, Trevor James Lee, Ye-Jin Lee, Young-Suk Lee, Jana K. Lemire, Daniel Jian Yi Leong, Garrett Bo Leong, Lan Lertpenit, Michael Alexander Letwin, Lance Jameson Lewis, Jennifer Lee, Shengnan Lee, Zayun Liang, Randall Lian, Matthew Benson Lim, Cody Nicholas Litzenberger, Chang Liu, Jeffrey Jin Hui Liu, Francesca Losno, Sarah Bree Lachlan Murray, Yang Yi Luan, Raylin Chantel Luxinger, Michaela Dawn Lundquist, Dominic Luang, Daniela Julia Lupi, Tommy Luyen, Ivana Lee, Kennedy Lease, Jason Michael Lister, Angie Ma, Robert Anthony McDonald, Scott Allen McIsaac, Kat Magak, Gabriela Maria Magana, Ethan Kenneth Ma, Julia Janice Ma, Sean Michael Mayer, Aditesh Makwana, Alyssa Marie Malimban, Laura Eileen Malik, Supandeep Man, Haitham Mansour, Jada Mansour, Jaya Mao, Giordano Mateo Marcanato, Luis Renato Morera Marcus, Daniel Harrison Marsh, Kyra Marshall, Jean-Francois Martel, Catherine Debbie Lee Martins, Santiago Martinez Ketty, Tajinder Singh Marwaha, Braden Edwin Massey, Arun Baby Matthew, James Chirakathathathil Matthews, Jesse William Mauch, Gordon Glenn James Maurer, Benjamin James Maxfield, Tucker Rose McBain, Hannah Gail McCaig, Holly Elizabeth McCartney, Sean Ryan McCrae, Stephen Alexander McGill, Stephen Wood McGowan, Ryan Andrew McHarg, Tatum Jordan McKelvey, Caitlin Nicole McKernan, Corey R. McKinney, Taylor John McLaughlin, Robert Joseph McClellan, Jocelyn Amanda McMinn, Kirk McNamara, Maxim Vladimirovich Medvedev, Regina Mehta, Benjamin Allen Meister, Patrick Benjamin Meister, Adriana Mercader, Aisha Ayaz Merchant, Zachary Alexander Metz, Kyra Mills, Sean William Milnthorpe, Alicia Elizabeth Milos, Forteza Miloti, Disha Minhas, Sean Singh Minhas, Adam Shafin Mohammed, Zain Mohammed Ali, Joanna Yolia Moisey, Roberto Dimitri Montemero, Adria Lita Moore, Danielle Joan Moores, Harmon Singh Moore, Hugo Adrian Moreno, Stephen R. F. Morris, Bradley Joseph Moser, Samira Sudat Musazadeh, Alexandra Francesca Mowen, David Kevin Mueller, Kristen Leslie Mullen, Kayla Malongo Banza, Musa Mohammed Munir, Mary Kathleen Elizabeth Monroe, Tarakesh Munagur Murali Krishnan, Liam Alexander Murray, Chase Rothwell Musselman, Emily Alex Rain Mustard, Brian Kaalo Matuku, Eric Samuel Myers, Noah Chester Nagel, Sean Christopher Naidu, Adam Najmuddin, Mansoor Nakehi, Hussein Nasser, Kudakwashe Ruth Indadzungira, Alexandra Nekulita, Stephen Bradley Nice, Justin James Newell, Yat Fei Danny Van No, Brian Wynn, Liam Lucas Chong Joshua Nguyen, Nam Kwa Nguyen, Sheila Nguyen, Stephen Nguyen, Tui Ann Wang Nguyen, Lana Nielsen, Frederick Nkotozo Nkewane, Lane Nodwell, Enrique Couto Nogeda, Megan Marie Norlander, Ryan David Notaker, Onyenyechi Maureen Nwangene, Rory Brendan O'Connor, Chukwu Ibuka Manuela Okafor, Alice Sophia Oland, Folashade Christabel Olayinka, Victoria Alinik, Jessica Aaron O'Mara, Simisola Olua Aribukala Oni, Samir Burhan Osman, Cody William Awajan, Fiza Oez, Abisade Oyetiju, Catherine Alexandra Panshaw, Arvind Singh Pandher, Rose Amon Pandher, Justin Dong Park, J. Kumar Munir Patel, Carmen Patino Urdaneta, Dylan Thomas Patsula, Priya Kaur Patar, Arajita Paul, Nemanja Pavlovich, Jacqueline Emily Pius, Taiyajun Pei, Shanghao Peng, Michelle Lynn Pinner, Ramesh Babu Perry, Evan John Perot, Stephen Richard Rylan Peters, Michael Alexander Flug, Julie Nok Pham, Adila Piparawala, Carlos Eduardo Pireles Borelquez, Kaylin Paksai, Kelly Pocarel, Pratik Pocarel, Sean David Kiyoshi Polishuk, Melitza Popovich, Alisa Meyer Porter, Liam Garnett Daniel Potter, Declan Brereton Powell, Isabel Pazos, Joseph Prasad, James Blake Pretty, Michael Adam Prosy, Devin Edward Prue, Imran Kasimali, Ying Qian, James Douglas Quinn, Ilana Yael Rabinovich, Denzel Jordan Radford, Dilbag Singh Rai, Umer Ahmed Raja, Ali Reza Ramazani, Amanda Ramsey, Gurleen Kaur Randawa, Delaney Danielle Ranger, Zahid Fazal Mahmood Rawat, Suparno Ray Chowdhury, Moner Razak, Michelle Erica Redden, Kathleen Mary Grace Reeves, Jared Spencer Reed, Tina Wren, Monique Richardson, Alicia Jane Roberts, Jessica Rose Robichaud, Graydon Tyler Robinson, Richard Rocha, Brandon Joseph Roshan, Carlos Enrique Rodriguez, Carla Rodriguez Gumucio, Emma Rokash, Omar Lennon Roque, Andrea Bianca Rojas, Samuel Ethan Ruggles, Mary Amor Tigli Saban, Paola Miguel Albania Sabater, Simran Kaur Sadra, Shah Shihab Sadman, Aniket Sagar, Caleb David Sager, Batul Jamal Saeed, Reem Tamer Saeed, Theron Wesley Sake, Serena Sajan, Mariam Sajad, Marianne Angelica Dayton Samar, Shreya Samiksha, Tone Santangelo, Amin Saud, Alexander Teves Sauko, Shar Savizi, Isha Saxena, Kelsey Lynn Schmidt, Brianna Janelle Scholart, Emily Schubert, Tyler Joseph Shulsky, Akash Naidu Sekar, Amanda Nicole Saradinsky, Vishal Siwak, Anas Shafiq, Dhruv Nikhil Shah, Malhar Khan Shohani, Shin Shou, Victoria Vladimirovna Sherbakova, Griffin Jeffrey Shea, Melissa A. Shea Budgell, Kelsey Blair Shetty, Mohathir Sheikh, Sonia Y. Say Sheikh, Rina Shioran, Hakun Shi, Haoqing Shi, Brett Harlan Shields, Alisa Shivji, Maggie Elise Short, Vasil Shuba, William Austin Shimka, Arshdeep Sidhu, Spencer Richard Simituk, Kelsey Nicole Singer, Lakshay Singh, Sunpreet Singh, Yakubus Gary Joshua Sirayat, Maxim Skliarov, Kayla Joelle Skerlik, Delaney Catherine Slicka, Joshua Alexander Snape, Hendrik Christoffel Snyman, Maximilian Arthur Thomas Sombrowski, Dongwook Sun, Chanyong Song, Daeshing Song, Kayla Renee Subko, Mohammed Adel Sosi, Morgan Lyle Southgate, Julia Leocadia Souter, Janice Mackenzie Spanier, Catherine Ann Spence, Maria Valentina Spina Sorochin, Alexa Stanek, Andrew Lloyd Stanix, Riley Blair Steinbach, Mapston McGraw Sturzer, John Robert Street, Susan Antoinette Strem, Charis Autumn Stromberg, Julie Sue, Carly Enver Lee Sugden, Connor Liam Sullivan, Chiali Sun, Colby Sutton, Zara Hussein Sayeta, Mazin Richard Tabsh, Yafet Berhanu Tadessa, Joshua Ningkan Tan, Ying Kong Tan, Fan Tang, Irwin Tang, David Tanhelson, Hayden Arthur Taylor, Drusilla Telstad, Lydia Hagos Tesfaye, Belil Tesfu, Amanjat Kaur Thind, Brett Mitchell Thorne, Brian Alexander Timmerman, Kendall Titchener, Christopher John Todd, Ijia Tong, Jesse Mark Toth, Fung Ti Tu Tran, Vin Tan Tran, Shubham Trian, Kimberly Ann Trishuk, Lisa Marie Wanda Treitz, Chris Say, Daniel Say, Elisaveta Symbol, Kimberly Michelle Turner, Joshua Blaine Twa, Logan Jonah Ong, Jay Upadhyaya, Monica Carr Opal, Faith Sumira Pasion Urmaneta, Anne Oganovo Wagboy, Mary Janelle Cruz Valencia, Curtis Jordan Valahi, Matthew Jacob Vandersloot, Emily Marie Van Tool, Arvin Vosegi, Adam Jason Veach, Tanya Rose Verhoop, Bryce Garrett John Versteeg, John Brennan Vertz, Claudio Juan Jose Virus, Tanner John Visser, Janet Vogelar, Graham John Voiles, Helene Voss, Tomislav Matthew Vukelik, Felix Vuong, Vincent Hao Vuong, Natalie Phyllis Olafson Wagner, Robin Ashley Walker, Christy Dawn Walter, Baijay Wang, John Wang, Ruiki Wang, Cindy Wang, Jesse D. Ward, Mackenzie Catherine Mary Wheel, Tanner Derek Webster, Brody Cameron Wellman, Wenhao Wen, Megan Willocks, Yi Wo, Eunice Wang, Johnny Yu Sing Wang, Terry Chi Ho Wang, Wesley Wang, Ubokja Chu, Kelvin Wu, Stephen Wu, Xiaodan Wu, Yuming Wu, Binghao Xiao, Terrence Da Hui Xie, Brandon Siuan Xiu, Lingfeng Shu, Wu Wei Shu, Yue Shu, Zijie Shu, Kelly Yagelniski, Weichao Yang, Jirui Yang, Zhang Yang, Shuai Young, Zailing Yang, Anton Yashnev, Huanzhong Yin, Victor Yu, Rebecca Yohemos, Heath Everett Young, Amanda Yu, David Yuan, Jarin Yu, Joshua Michael Stanley Zablocki, Syed Hamad Zafar, Syed Ali Gahar Zaidi, Syed Hassan Ali Zaidi, Syed Mohammed Zaidi, Ryan Zaman, Martin Jan Zatka, Jason Christopher Zeiler, Judith Zigun, Jiangcheng Zhang, Shi Alfred Zhang, Shui Jing Zhang, Yunfan Zhang, Jian Long Jin Wu, Cici Zhu, Tiffany Zhu, Tony Pingji Zhu, Mapalo Zimba.
Graduates, during our time here today, we have recognized your years of dedication and commitment to your studies and extracurricular activities. You've done it. You're officially University of Calgary alumni, a distinction you will carry with you for the rest of your lives. You've worked hard, and we're so proud of all that you've accomplished, especially given the challenge presented by the pandemic. I am sure that as students, you had some difficult days when you struggled in isolation with your coursework and missed in-person time with professors and classmates and had to continuously remember to take yourselves off mute while you were participating in online classes. And yet here you are, celebrating your academic achievements. Through hard work and dedication, you have reached this important goal. It's a milestone for each and every one of you. I hope you will mark this occasion in every way you can. You'll have to be creative. It might be virtual and it might be with masks on, but don't forget to do something that will bring back the memories of your accomplishments in an instant. And reflect on those memories you've made along the way. As you continue on your journeys from here, take the time to acknowledge your ongoing accomplishments. I know there will be many, and I can't wait to hear about them, so don't forget, stay connected. Congratulations to a graduating class like no other, the class of 2021. I declare this convocation closed.